Though not the first time heroes of the Japanese manga magazine series have banded together, Jump Force needed to be special, as it marked the 50th anniversary of Weekly Shonen Jump. But instead of feeling like the Avengers Endgame of crossovers, this effort feels more like a direct-to-DVD affair. While the visually explosive fighting can be satisfying in small doses, and the roster does cover a decent stretch of its source material, the single player is a complete slog, and the story does little with its diverse cast of characters. Despite being the best looking of the bunch, previous Jump mashups still remain superior. A cursory glance may leave you impressed with Jump Force. A 1v1 fighter, it lets you use teams of 3 characters, allowing you to switch between them and perform special moves during combos. It is mechanically similar to J-Star Victory Versus, with a camera that hovers just above the ground and a focus on eruptive specials, which often fill your screen. The rock-paper-scissors nature of combat is quite tactile, allowing for some satisfying counters, dodges, and cancels. The roster is strong, with 40 characters spanning decades of manga. Fist of the North Star, Dragon Ball, One Piece, and My Hero Academia are all represented, along with some more obscure picks, such as Dai from the Dragon Quest manga. This provides a plethora of fan service for those with interest in the source material, and seeing some of the more iconic moves rendered beautifully in the Unreal Engine 4 will please even casual fans. Unfortunately, the story lets the game down tremendously. The main meat of the game is a self-insert affair which sees your avatar plunged into a battle between worlds, an invasion from mysterious Venom drones, as the heroes of Jump Worlds unite and take your Avi under their wing in order to fight back. But the story is poorly told, with awful cutscenes that would look dated on a 7th gen console, let alone the Xbox One. Facial expressions convey emotions poorly, with some articulations proving difficult to decipher, and it all takes what feels like an eternity to roll. Several chapters are spent recruiting fighters, but very little interaction takes place, besides occasional side quests. The second act meanders along like a sloth under a slow spell, and by the time it reaches the concluding acts, most will have grown tired, especially with a sprinkling of cheap scenarios, including bosses which can deliver a knockout in 2 hits. While you can buy supplementary items and new attacks to even the odds, it's still tedium incarnate. Besides the main story, dozens of missions are available. 3 missions are a series of challenges which reward costume pieces, gold, experience, and new abilities which you can add to your custom character. And higher difficulties increase the rewards substantially. You can level up both your character and the 40-strong roster, evening the odds somewhat. Extra missions crop up occasionally, letting you increase your max level and unlock new elements, which can then be added to specials. There's also both local and online multiplayer. Local play is dogged by a camera which, frankly, doesn't work, as it avoids split screen and simply swaps between perspectives of each players. This converts fights into a confusing mess. Online proves better, with a plethora of options and even roaming players in the hub of the single player, though you can opt out of this. There is, admittedly, tons of content here, but for most players, it will grow dull long before you're through with it. Jump Force, in regards to visuals, proves one of the most mixed bags in recent memory. Characters are striking in their semi-realistic appearance, blending beautifully with the high detail environments. These two are fantastic, especially the densely packed New York stage, which is dramatic in its ruination and destruction. Plus, the effects for specials, which cover the screen in particles and visual splendour, are a treat. Unfortunately, the game is dogged with performance issues, which seemingly vary depending on the stage. More crowded scenes slow the game to a crawl, making combat less responsive as a consequence. And as mentioned earlier, these high detail characters are wasted with poor animations during story cutscenes. The sound only fares slightly better, with Japanese voice acting proving decent, a script which sways between acceptable and cringeworthy, and music which is largely forgettable. The combat, thankfully, packs a punch. Jump Force can only be viewed as a disappointment, squandering Jump's rich history under mediocre storytelling, frustratingly dull missions, and technical issues. The core combat is decent fun, and the signature explosive style of these games has never looked better, but this fire is tempered by such dull content. The rare moments of interactivity between characters is cool, but it doesn't make the dozens of hours of boredom worthwhile. Unless you must play all things manga, this one is better left in the dust.